Welcome back, and thank you for joining us on our PA to Yellowstone Road Trip series. The Grand Teton National Park is an amazing place. If you go to Yellowstone, you'll want to add the Grand Tetons to your trip. This bike ride was a bucket list experience for me. We are Betsy and Chet, and this is our oldest son, Alex. For 33 years, we thought Alex had nonverbal autism, intellectual disability, ADHD, and pica, but recent genetic testing told us that Alex also has Phelan-McDermott syndrome. Our videos, Goal 1, Joyful Life, are based on our family's journey and strategies we use to improve the quality of our life through meaningful leisure experiences. During this road trip series, we will be letting you know strategies and products that we are using, but this is not because we are sponsored, but just to give you some ideas for your own journeys. To keep everyone safe, please remember everyone is different. What works for us may not work for you and your family. For those of you that are new to our series, this is a road trip from Pennsylvania to Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks, with many stops along the way. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates and to see the whole adventure. Today we are heading south from Yellowstone to the Grand Teton National Park. Here is our route for the day. Chet heated up the water for coffee. Then we packed up and left our Yellowstone campsite for our journey south. First stop, the Continental Divide that separates water flow into the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans.
View of the mountains. We are now leaving Yellowstone and on to the Grand Tetons. We already saw an elk this morning, but we missed it on the camera. Hopefully we'll be able to bring some more. There's supposed to be some more elk down in Grand Tetons. We're hoping to get a bike ride in. And we'll check in later when we get to the mountains. But soon you'll see the mountains in the distance. You see them behind the pine trees? They're there. There they are. There's the start of the mountains. But there's snow still up there. We're pretty high, I guess. They're pretty. Just crossed the Continental Divide. Again, we crossed it a couple times yesterday. Hoping to see some more animals this morning. Let's see. This is Lewis Lake. We're driving towards the Grand Tetons, but we're still in Yellowstone. Let's see if I can get a better picture. I walk down here. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Really quiet, except for the car engine in the background. Sorry about that. Another shot of Lake Lewis. Chet's stepping out to take a picture too. Really pretty. I don't think you can canoe or boat on this river. I imagine you can. We talked to a guy yesterday who was fly fishing and he caught 2 trout and threw them back. But he did a lot of fun.
Lewis Lake is 12 miles from the Yellowstone south entrance. There is a campground. Canoes, kayaks, and motorboats are allowed on the lake. In between Yellowstone and the Grand Teton National Parks, there's a spot in the middle that is not a national park. Still is beautiful. Looks like they lost some trees here on the left. Sure what to. Look that up. Then we've got the mountains in the foreground. I tried to get information online about the dead trees. The white bark pine trees in this area were killed by a pine beetle epidemic in 2019, and some of the dead trees may be left over from the 1988 fire. We are now at Grand Teton.
National Forest. This is Jackson Lake at the Grand Tetons. There's a bunch of geese over here in the corner. I just heard something splash, but I'm not sure what it was.
Lake is a 15-mile-long glacial lake. It is a natural lake that increased in size with the construction of a dam in 1911, which was enlarged in 1916 and then rebuilt in 1989. Many people enjoy boating, fishing, and camping in this area.
We're still in Jackson Lake. Got out of the car and we're even walked right up to the car. I think he was trained to ask for cookies or something. Very pretty. It's about 9:30 in the morning.
Although you'll want to feed the birds, don't do it. It's not allowed. The maximum penalty for feeding wildlife here is $5,000 and up to a year in jail.
In this path trying to get a good shot of this mountain for you. The trees are kind of blocking the view. I'm sure there'll be a better view later on over the lake.
There are beautiful wildflowers everywhere.
The view from Leek's restaurant parking lot. Must be a beautiful place to boat.
It's the Coulter Bay Visitor Center. Alex was very excited, so we didn't stay long.
Hey Alex, you excited?
There is a display and gift shop. There's an information desk where we asked about biking.
We're headed to the Jenny Lake Visitor Center to start our bike ride. I was told that we won't see much wildlife on the bike ride, which is pretty good because you don't want to be attacked by a bear while you're riding a bike. But we're starting there, and it's like a multi-purpose path where you can hike and also bike. We're gonna start there and ride this morning. We were told that there would be pretty views along the way, but not much wildlife. But we're going to try to look for wildlife later on this evening on Antelope Flat Roads that was recommended by the author of that one book.
To explain my comment about the book. Prior to this trip, I purchased this book for Alex. I'm not selling anything here, but I really like this book, and I contacted the author with a question. She suggested the Antelope Flat Road for seeing wildlife, so we are definitely going to try to see wildlife there later today.
On the way to Jenny Lake, there's some people out there, it looks paddleboarding.
In the late 1800s, homesteaders converted local sagebrush areas to large hayfields. At the time, these fields provided year-round food for their livestock. Since the homesteaders moved away from this land, it was less valuable to the local wildlife who benefited from the sagebrush. Since 2007, the Grand Teton National Park Foundation is supporting and working towards the return of the native sagebrush. Family photo at the mountains. Show you the bike path. It looks like a great path. It is well paved. We'll be taking the bike out from Jenny Lake Visitor Center. I'm not sure if we will bike the whole way. We will be using power on our bikes to trailer Alex's bike attachment.
Up, you're losing your shoe. It's gonna be a minute.
What?
All right, here we go. Ready to go.
It does say go.
You hold my bike up on it. All right, you gotta turn and sit. You're ready.
Alex's seatbelt has a 5-point harness, but we only use the lower part over his hips and in the center.
Whenever you are. Off into the sunset she goes.
My plan was to use these mirrors to monitor Alex's feet on the platform and his elbow position to prevent injury, but they're too small. So Chet watches Alex for me as we bike. For those wondering, we have had Alex's bike attachment for years and love it. I'm Able, in Wyomissing, PA, USA, helped raise the money to purchase this equipment, and Ainsley's Angels built it. In the US, disability sports equipment is private pay and can be very expensive. We are forever grateful to people that donated to raise the money for Alex and our family. I was surprised how windy it was. It was very nice, and it helped not make it hot. Alex will at times place his left arm near the wheel of the tire when biking. Although the following biker is watching out for this, sometimes we will miss Alex placing his arm too low, and he's at risk for bruising and scraping his arm. After our trip, we found this sleeve guard on Amazon for under $10. It's breathable, tear resistant, scratch and cut resistant, and has a good stretch. As you can see in the photo of the sleeve guard before washing, there is some dirt where Alex held his arm against the tire before we saw we needed to move his arm. Alex didn't have any injury. This strategy may not work for everyone to prevent injury, but so far it has helped us. We took a short break on a shaded bridge. The arrows point out where we can attach a roll bar if we feel we need the extra protection. The water's clear.
I like the pebbles in the river. They're all different colors and they're a little rounded, so you would think it wouldn't be as difficult to walk on if you didn't have your worsing there. Very pretty. The waterfall is really neat. So far the apples have been freezing. The weather is perfect.
I think this is the Snake River. Next stop, lunch. The restaurant was busy, and we thought we would do better sitting outside on the deck. Alex's wheelchair attachment, our bike attachment, was too big to bring up on the deck, so Alex walked up and sat on a fairly heavy, sturdy chair. When Chet went inside to order, Alex became excited and kept standing up, flipping the chair back twice. A kind stranger helped me with the chair while I helped Alex sit back down. I think Alex was excited about seeing everyone's food and was more than ready to eat too. Typically when we're out, Alex is sitting in his standard wheelchair with my foot resting on the wheelchair frame to prevent the wheelchair from moving backwards unsafely. In the past, we used anti-tippers on the back of his wheelchair, but they were misplaced. We got lemonade and pizza, and it was very good. After our vacation, dynamic footrest springs, see the orange arrow, were added to Alex's wheelchair footrests to prevent the footrest from breaking again. Alex at times will push his feet against his footrest and extend his body with such force that the footrest breaks. The plastic attachment, see the green arrow, has broken a few times. Alex uses his wheelchair more for calming and safety. He runs and jumps a lot, so his legs are very strong. Due to the issues experienced at the restaurant, we also got new back anti-tippers to help prevent the wheelchair from falling over backwards if Alex pushes his legs hard against the ground or his footrests. There was a short hiking path next to the restaurant that led to the river. This sign explains that Bill Menor operated a ferry here in 1894. This ferry allowed access to the land west of the Snake River until 1927. The sign is well worn, but it's interesting. Jackson Hole was one of the last areas settled, probably due to its harsh climate and high elevation, making farming difficult. The sign is difficult to read how many men, but only 2 women and 1 child lived here in 1888. Mormon settlers came in the 1890s to settle at Mormon's Row.
Look how swift the river is. It's all fast moving. We got a pizza on back. Those are the Tetons. And we just made it up this big hill with our power bikes. Wasn't sure we were gonna make it without running out of energy. Look at the scenery. Absolutely gorgeous bike ride. It's easy until one hill at the very end going down to the restaurant. That's the Snake River, a little bit of hill. Easy going down. Going up is a little bit rough, but if you have a power bike, we made it. So just to know, I think it's 7.8 miles each way. Look at the views. Amazing. And they have rest stops for, you know, those scenic views. Some of them have bathrooms. Some of them have outhouses. There's bear aware signs, but I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any animals, no, not even bison.
I got carried away by the beauty and the fun I was having, and next time I will try my best to listen to Chet. He told me we should turn around before the big hill, but I so wanted to continue. I thought we would be fine, but on the way back, it was a killer hill, and our power bike started running out of power, and then we ran out of power completely. It was a difficult pedal back, but we made it. I now know we should have turned around before the big hill, went back to the car, drove down to the restaurant. Then we could have used the standard wheelchair at the restaurant, which would have made it easier. What was I thinking? Don't make my mistake.
I think that's Teton Glacier up there. One of these two. Something fine. Cool though. Alex is getting suntan back there. After some pizza, put some sunscreen on, but I don't think it lasted. And bring sunscreen if you're gonna go bike riding up here.
Many people climb Grand Teton each year, but it is harder than expected for many climbers. The restrooms are nice and accessible at the Lake Jenny Visitor Center. There's a slight downhill to the Jenny Lake Overlook. Sorry, I don't have photos of the overlook or the lake. Next, we visited the Craig Thomas Discovery and Visitor Center. This center has information on the area, its people, preservation, hiking, and mountaineering. Alex prefers cartoons, so we didn't watch the available films on the area. This was the best part of the center. There was a horse stampede movie in the floor that you could walk on.
On the way from Jenny Lake to Vulture Bay Campground.
We saw bison in the afternoon. On the way to Antelope Flats. "24 Native American tribes have historical, cultural, and spiritual connection to the Grand Teton National Park."
This is Antelope Flats, where there's supposed to be animals, but I haven't seen any yet. Still on the Antelope Flats, not seeing any animals. I'm not sure, maybe it's just too hot for them. We're supposed to, it's 6:30. We're not seeing any evening animals at all.
Next, we visited Mormon Row, which is one of the most visited sites. The barns and the ruins are from the Mormon homesteaders. The Grand Teton National Park Foundation is working on restoring these structures. No drones are allowed to fly. I think it would be too windy anyway. The Mormon Row area had dirt paths and grass, so we thought it would be easier without the wheelchair. There were once 33 homesteads, including a church and school. There are currently 6 homesteads remaining.
It's still so light.
See that one taking a dirt path? Where he was on the back of this thing.
Oh, I missed that one.
Cattle. Margaret and J. Pierce Cunningham settled in Jackson Hole in the 1880s. Pierce, along with 97 other ranchers, came together and sold their land to Rockefeller, who later donated over 33,000 acres to expand the park.
Go into the Cunnington cabin, 0.3 miles. We're going to walk and see some horses in the field. On the trail, we needed to watch out for prairie dog holes and this small stream. Looking? I like that gray one out there. Yeah, pretty. Yeah, he's pretty, isn't he? And the black and white one, he's pretty too. This way. This way. There's a little bridge down here. It's in the water. Isn't that pretty? Wait for Dad. There he is. There's Dad. You have to keep on walking. We're almost to the car. That was a nice walk.
Way to our campsite, we saw elk. We drove to our campsite at Coulter Bay and saw a cute bear aware sign. When reaching our campsite, we met our neighbor and her dog. We told her that Alex sometimes wakes up at night, so if we are loud, just know we will quickly leave so as not to disturb her. She said, "Don't worry, she's a special education teacher." That made us feel much more relaxed because she understands. Please hit the like button to encourage us if you enjoyed this video. Wait until you see what we do tomorrow. We are driving through Wyoming on our way to Nebraska, a more southern route on the way home. We see lots of fun things. Please subscribe to our channel to get alerts to see our next video.